Hey friends, thanks for stopping by. If you want shocking betrayal stories, you're in the right place. Don't miss out, subscribe now. Today's story is about a man who discovered his wife's secret with his own twin brother. Let's dive in. I never thought betrayal could come from the two people I trusted most in this world. My wife, the woman I built my life with, and my twin brother, the person who shared my blood, my childhood, my secrets. If someone told me a year ago that the two of them would destroy everything I believed in, I would have laughed. But betrayal doesn't knock on the door. It creeps in quietly. And when it hits, it crushes you in ways you can't even describe. I remember the night I found out. It was supposed to be an ordinary evening. Dinner, laughter, maybe a movie before bed. Instead, it became the night I realized the people closest to me were capable of stabbing me in the back. It wasn't just an affair. It wasn't just infidelity. It was the cruelest form of deception, because it came from the person I loved and the person I trusted more than anyone. My wife had betrayed me. My brother had betrayed me. And together, they had turned my marriage into a lie and my family bond into a joke. I didn't just lose a wife that night. I didn't just lose a brother. I lost a part of myself, a part that believed in loyalty, in love, in trust. And what hurts the most is not the physical act of betrayal, but the fact that it was planned, hidden, repeated, while I lived in ignorance. Imagine waking up every day thinking you are loved, only to realize you were nothing but a fool in their secret game. That night, the night my brother stole more than my trust, was the night my world collapsed, and the scars it left will never fade. I first noticed little changes, small things that didn't make sense. My wife started locking her phone. She smiled at messages but wouldn't say who they were from. I told myself it was stress, or maybe work, but deep down, something felt wrong. Betrayal has a smell, and even if you try to ignore it, it lingers in the air. My brother, who used to come by only once in a while, started showing up at my house more often. First, I thought it was nice. Family is important. But then, I noticed the way they looked at each other. Quick glances, subtle smiles. It wasn't obvious, but it was enough to make me question my sanity. I confronted my wife once, asked if something was going on. She laughed. She accused me of being paranoid. And when I asked my brother, he told me I was imagining things. I wanted to believe them. I wanted to believe that betrayal wasn't sitting in my own living room. But denial doesn't change the truth. One night I came home early. They didn't hear me walk in. The house was quiet, but I heard whispers from the bedroom. First, I thought maybe she was on the phone. But when I opened the door, my world shattered. My wife and my brother. Together. Not just once. Not a mistake. It was clear from the way they looked at me that this wasn't the first time. It had been going on for months, maybe longer. My wife begged me to listen. My brother tried to explain. But how do you explain betrayal like that? How do you explain choosing passion over loyalty, lies over love? The pain was unbearable. I felt like my chest was caving in. Every memory, every moment we shared as a couple, as a family, suddenly felt fake. I realized then that betrayal is more than cheating. It's a choice, a decision to destroy someone's trust. My wife had chosen him. My brother had chosen her. And I was left with nothing. The lies continued even as they confessed. It didn't mean anything. It was a mistake. But mistakes don't repeat themselves behind closed doors. Mistakes don't text late at night. Mistakes don't share inside jokes that leave the betrayed one feeling like an outsider in his own marriage. This was not a mistake. It was a calculated betrayal. The hardest part was the double pain. If it had been a stranger, I could have hated her and moved on. If it had been some random guy, I could have blamed her weakness. But this was my brother, my twin, the one who was supposed to protect me, not destroy me. His betrayal cut deeper than hers. Because when your own blood turns against you, the wound never heals. After that night, I left the house. I couldn't sleep in the same bed where betrayal was born. I couldn't sit at the same table where lies were served. I stayed in a cheap motel, staring at the ceiling, replaying every moment, every smile, every laugh, trying to figure out how long they had been making a fool of me. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized I had been blind. Blind to the way she distanced herself from me. Blind to the way he always had excuses to drop by. Blind to the late-night calls that ended the moment I walked into the room. The truth is, betrayal doesn't start the night you catch them. It starts long before, in the secret glances, the stolen moments, the quiet lies. I was living with betrayal for months, maybe years, without knowing it. That's the cruelty of infidelity. Poisons your life while you smile, thinking everything is fine. I never got closure. My wife cried, begged for forgiveness, said it was over. My brother said he didn't mean to hurt me, that he loved me. But love doesn't betray. Love doesn't stab you in the back. Their words were empty. Their apologies were meaningless. Because betrayal isn't erased with tears. It stays. It lingers. It haunts you every time you try to trust again. Today, I stand here not as a husband, not as a brother, but as a man who learned the hardest way that betrayal can come from the people you die for. And when it does, it doesn't just break your heart. It breaks your soul.